Welcome to my podcast. This episode, which is the first, will be mostly about me introducing myself and sharing a little bit about where I'm coming from and why I'm doing this. And it will be an attempt from my side to start the process of becoming completely at ease with just being in front of the camera and surrendering to what is there in the moment. I've sort of been in the process of leading up to this, to releasing the first episode for a while now. And for a long time, I went about it by trying to plan my way out of it, planning what episodes to release at what time and how to script them and all these things. And I started recording, and I realized very quickly that the vibe of the recordings as I moved through the content is not what I want to create. I know now that there's one thing that I don't want to compromise with, which is the integrity of the authentic expression that happens when I simply sit down and speak from somewhere inside, from my heart, and simply say what's there in the moment. Whenever I start trying to read either from a script or even just if it's bullet points of things that I want to cover, I find myself losing my presence. And it might be that I'd be able to better kind of articulate the certain points that I want to make if I were to just write them out and maybe learn to read better from a script in front of the camera. But I think the overall value of what I create, and most importantly, the feeling that I might be able to, inject or inspire in whoever is listening or watching, it's going to be worth it to practice the skill of just authentically expressing myself in the moment and not worry about having the perfect articulated sentence to illustrate a point. And you'll come to know this about me more and more. But one of the things that I've been kind of picking up as a philosophy of life is the fact that I think we tend to over-intellectualize a lot of things, and in doing so move away from the magic of experience, the magic of being in the moment. And I genuinely think that the intellectual part of what I have to share is less important than the connection that I'm trying to connect, even if it's just through audio or video, even if we're not even like sitting in front of each other. I think the connection and the feeling of being with a real human is more important than any intellectual message that I could script and articulate perfectly. That's for me personally today, like the biggest goal for me is to just stay in that space of complete, authentic, present moment, kind of heartfelt expression. And then I want to just welcome you to this space. If you've never met me, if you don't know me, my name is Rasmus. And for a while now, I've been deeply involved in the space of plant medicine. I will surely share much more about that another time. It's not really the point of this episode, but it's just to say that I've spent a lot of my time in ceremony with many different people, both with medicine, with plants, primarily ayahuasca, but also without. I have become deeply involved with music as a form of medicine, as a way of connecting people and as a way of connecting people with themselves. And both with plants and music, ceremony has become a big part of my life. And one of the things that I'm hoping to create with this is sort of a feel of being a little bit in a circle, even though obviously we're not. But I'd like it to feel more like you're just sitting down with me and I get to share some of the stuff that's on my mind and on my heart at the moment, and do it in a non-rushed and intentful and mindful, but also just in an exploratory way, where I don't have too many expectations around making an important point. I just get to share, and you get to sit with me, and hopefully I will be able to also, in these episodes, weave in time for your own reflection and your own practice. In this episode, maybe not so much, just getting started here, but I do have an idea that I'd like to move this podcast, this channel, towards an idea of having like a weekly practice of actually doing the work together, rather than it be me kind of speaking endlessly on one topic and then bye-bye. So I'd like to create those spaces for you to actually bring these episodes in as part of your practice. It's an ambitious goal, but I think the intent is all that matters, and we'll see where it ends and how I end up doing it. One thing that I will for sure be exploring is how I can weave in music into these episodes. Like I said, music is a big part of my life, has been ever since I started working with the plants. And it's honestly probably the most authentic expression that I have myself. It's where I feel the most at ease with my voice. And so I'd like to let that be part of this space. I don't, again, know exactly how or how much. I do know today that I plan on singing a song. And the reason I want to sing this song particularly is because it's the first song I ever wrote. I wrote it about 3.5 years ago, I believe it was. Or could be maybe 2.5. No, 2.5 years ago, in Bali. And I hadn't really ever written songs before, but I'd just come from spending a year with medicine in the retreat space in Costa Rica. And I wrote this song as a way of opening a circle. And particularly this song is written with the with the mindset of people coming into a ceremony with ayahuasca for the first time. And there's typically this sense of sort of like anxious energy around people where, you know, they're happy to be there and they're excited to see where it's going to go, but they're also afraid and they don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to affect them. And this song is sort of written with the intent of just calming everything down a little bit and opening the space of just a shared collective understanding that we're here together doing important work, and there's literally at this point nothing that you have to do or worry about, because you are here and you showed up, and now you just let the medicine work. So yeah, I think I'm gonna actually, in fact, I'm gonna sing that song now. See how that goes. I'm also not really sure how the sound is gonna come out when I do these recording of both voice and music, but you know, it's not meant to be like perfect music for distribution on Spotify. It's just meant to be part of a vibe that I'd like to create, and it's a vibe that I feel that I don't know, maybe in time, but I think at this point I'm only able to create the feeling that I would like to create if I bring in music. Come on, let's begin. It's time to join the circle, like leaves drifting in the wind, finding roots again. Come closer, gather round, and join your hearts in prayer. Look what you found, a sacred space. So come on, take my hands. Let go, surrender this needless need to control the dance. I am with you through it all. And trust your heart in the hands of ancient healing. Nothing to do, just breathe out and don't run from what you're feeling. Come on, rest your mind. You've been leading thoughts like crazy, and peace we'll find. Let's slow things down. Sit here and close your eyes. It's safe to journey inwards. Side by side we go below. So come on, take my hands. Let go, surrender this needless need to control the dance. I am with you all the way. And trust your heart in the hands of ancient healing. Nothing to do, just breathe out and don't run from what you're feeling. Trust your heart. Trust the healing. There's nothing you gotta do. Just breathe. And don't run. Thank you for receiving that. It's a very special song to me. I had last year, about a year ago, I was doing a circle every week where I was living in Costa Rica at the time, Santa Teresa. We had a song circle. People would show up and we would sit in a circle and share what's going on in life, and then we'd sing a bunch of songs, medicine songs. I would sing this song as the sort of opening the circle every night, and yeah, it puts me in a special place singing it. So thank you for receiving it. I don't know that I have much more for this particular opening episode. I'd like to share maybe my thought on just the idea that was also in the song, that, there's nothing you got to do. Just breathe and let the medicine do the work, and don't run from it. I think that is the message that I'd also like to carry in general when it comes to doing the work of taking responsibility for your life and for your experience, so that you can heal and grow and create the beautiful experience for yourself and your loved ones that everyone deserves. And when it comes to the use of plants in that process, whether it's ayahuasca or mushrooms or any other of the master plants, it literally is like, once you show up, There's nothing left for you to like. All you got to do is not resist. Just surrender, let go, and let the medicine do its work. And I kind of feel the same way when you're doing the work outside of medicine, outside of the plant, like away from that realm of using psychedelic compounds to change your state of being, I guess. It's a different medicine, and for me, the medicine of the work, of sitting down and doing the work, the medicine is awareness. You making a decision and a conscious choice to say, I'm gonna put in the practice of becoming consciously aware of my experience. From that point on, there is nothing left for you to do. The awareness will take over eventually. It will be the medicine that does the work for you. It will stop being an effort at some point. After you find the courage and have enough experiences where you surrender to your own inner, just deep wisdom and knowledge that's there to help you, to guide you through your journey. Once you are able to surrender to that and let go of your constant kind of intellectualizing of everything, the awareness becomes a medicine, and all you got to do is breathe and not run from it. And if there's anything that I'd like to accomplish with this podcast, and essentially with all the stuff that I create, it is to inspire and encourage more people to sit down and do the work. And to, beyond that, also offer a very particular space of actually committing to a practice. Because you don't have to be alone with this. And I think it can be, for a lot of people, a lonely path, doing the work. So, if nothing else, I'd like to be part of a growing community that extends, inspiration, encouragement, and support to other people that are looking to take that journey. And that will be my final words today. I will leave whatever info is needed in the description of the podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, for how to get in touch with me if you feel called to do so. And other than that, I will see you or hear you, or you will hear me next week. Until then, may you be happy and free.